We're in the kitchen today, and I'm going to share with you 3 ways that we try to save money. Also, I'm going to share with you a video that I recently watched that's inspired me to work really hard on developing my homesteading skills in the kitchen this year. This is Crystal from Homestead Odyssey. I want to talk to you a little bit about a video that I watched on YouTube the other day. The channel that it's from is called Homesteading Family. I've just recently kind of found them. They have a lot of videos about homesteading skills that are important to have. The one particular video I want to talk about was called Homesteading with No Money. And the reason why I wanted to see that video was because when I saw the title, I was like, you can't homestead with no money. It costs money to homestead. There are ways to save money with homesteading, but I was really curious what they were going to talk about. Well, during that video, they kind of had the same comment. You can't homestead with absolutely no money. It's just not possible. But one thing that they'd mentioned was to help save money so that you can save for a future homestead, you need to focus on the kitchen or at home. How are you spending money buying products that you could make for cheaper or healthier, and how can you change that? And my first thought was, oh, I'm doing that. I make stuff from scratch. We try to make as much as we can. We grow our own eggs. We get our milk from our goat. But as I thought about it more, I realized there are a lot of things that I buy or throw away after buying that I could have used in a different way that I could be saving money on. So I am a planner, I'm a list maker, and I made a list of a whole bunch of different kitchen skills, and I hope to take it, even further beyond that, but I want to start in the kitchen like they suggested, of things that I can do to save us money, to improve what we're eating, and hopefully do both of those at the same time. I'll share just a couple of them. My kids eat tortillas like crazy. Almost daily someone's having something with a tortilla. We eat tacos a lot, we eat quesadillas a lot. Making our own tortillas, I really think, is a way we can try to save money. I've tried making them in the past, not very successfully, but it's something that I think I really should try working on. Especially lately, our local stores have been not having tortillas on sale, and paying $3 to $4 for a bag of tortillas seems like a lot of money. Along with the tortillas is we also eat a lot of tortilla chips. So if I'm going to make tortillas, why not just make more and turn them into chips? My kids love chips and salsa, so I think that's another place where I could definitely be cutting back on. Making breadcrumbs and croutons, that's another thing that my family loves to eat. We love breaded chicken, we love making meatloaf with breadcrumbs in it, and breadcrumbs are just dried bread made into crumbs. So I really think that's a way that I could cut back buying those containers of breadcrumbs. Who knows what else is added into those? And if I'm making it from bread that I make myself, I know what's in them. Last couple things that I'll read off my list. My list is pretty big. This year we really wanted to learn how to make goat cheese. That's something we tried once last year. We liked it, but it was at the end of our milking season, so we didn't make a whole lot. The last one that I'll mention is making our own seasoning mixes. So kind of what I'm thinking I'll do is I'll make short videos as I'm working on these different homesteading / kitchen skills / saving money in the home, and make a playlist called Homesteading Kitchen Skills, and I'll invite you guys along with this. Hopefully that can inspire some of you guys to work on things in your kitchens and in your homes. Also, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We really would love to have more viewers follow along this journey with us. We like to try to keep fresh fruit in the kitchen as much as possible, but our problem is a lot of times the kids don't eat it all, or it starts to go bad, and so then they won't eat it. In the past, we fed these scraps to our chickens, which they do like, and it is a way to use it. With the free brewer grains, it felt like a big waste of money. We're getting free feed, but then we're feeding them expensive fruit. After watching a video, I saw the idea to cut up the fruit, discard the parts that are not so lovely, and save it in the freezer for smoothies. And my kids really like smoothies, so I thought that was a great idea because frozen fruit is really expensive at the store. Okay, so I went through my container of strawberries and I picked out all the strawberries that my kids typically deem too squishy. And I'm gonna remove the tops off of those, cut them at least in half depending on the size, and then I have a bag labeled smoothie fruit that they're all gonna go into. Okay, next on my list to cut up is I bought a bunch of these kiwis. I don't know if your kids are like mine. They kind of go through this phase where they'll have a fruit that they really like and I can't keep enough in the house, so I buy it and buy it and buy it, and then just all of a sudden they'll decide they don't want that fruit anymore, and then I end up with leftovers. So these kiwis, nothing's wrong with them. They are just getting a little shriveled up. Not bad, not moldy, just shriveled. Okay, anyone who has a toddler, I'm sure you've been through this. The one bite apple system. She takes a bite, she leaves. I think these are the only two somehow. But if she can get a hold of an apple, she will take one, maybe 2 bites, and leave the rest. So that was all my fruit. I ended up with, this bag was completely empty and I have almost half a bag of fruit. Here's what we have left over after cutting up all that fruit. This will all go out to the chickens and I'm gonna head out to go feed them and we'll see what they think of it. I know we got the goodies. Let's see if they like these fruit scraps. I wanna say it looks like they do. So a big reason why I like feeding food scraps to my chickens is not only does it save a little bit of money and keeps food from going in our garbage can, what I tell my kids is food is our building blocks for our body. And our body needs all different kinds of building blocks. The same thing goes for our chickens. We're eating eggs from our chickens. Sometimes we eat meat from our chickens. And we want our chickens to have the best building blocks they can. Healthier chickens leads to healthier us. So in our house, we have one kiddo who cannot have gluten. We have tried almost every kind of gluten-free bread that we can. He also struggles with textures, and this is the only bread I can find that he will eat. So gluten-free bread and gluten-free bread mix is very expensive. And I'm gonna mix up and make his bread, and then when it's all baked and done, I'll show you how I do save money with my gluten-free bread. My son, who can't have gluten-free, he also has high-functioning autism. And for kiddos who have autism, it's really good for them to get as much healthy fats as they can into their diet. He also still, like I mentioned before, struggles with tastes and textures. There's not a whole lot of foods that he likes to eat, and so it takes a lot for me to find ways to get these healthy fats into his diet. Whenever I'm making his bread or anything that calls for oil, I make sure that half of that oil is coconut oil. I try to leave the butter in so he still gets some butter taste, some of that texture, but it's really important for me that he gets that good healthy oils and fats in him. And this is just goat milk from our fridge. Now we save all our chicken eggshells to give right back to our chickens. I guess that's another way we save money, is by feeding these eggshells back to our chickens. We don't have to buy oyster shells, and these shells provide them with the calcium they need. I will get this moved into my pans, and then this bread will rise for about an hour, just typically till it's doubled in size. and then we will bake it. The dough is doubled in size and into the oven it goes. This little girl woke up from her nap and she's got some crazy hair. And so we're gonna try to take this last part of the video with the helper. We'll see how it goes. Okay, our gluten-free bread is all done baking. It is cooling. And then to help make sure that it's completely cool, I slice it up and lay it out. And then I'm gonna move all the sliced bread into a bag and then we'll freeze it in a bag. Because the big thing with gluten-free bread is it goes bad really fast. And before I was making my son bread and we just ended up throwing half or 3/4 of a loaf away and it just was tossing out really expensive bread. And then I had the idea to start freezing it and that saved us a ton of money. I only pull out a couple slices at a time so that he can eat it before it goes bad.
It's my bread and it's gluten-free. Bye.
Okay, so my third way that I save money in the kitchen that I'm going to share with this video is buying produce and other food on clearance. I bought this salad 2 weeks ago. It was marked out on clearance for 50 cents for a big plastic container of it. None of it was wilted, none of it was bad, but if I'd left it in that container, it probably would have gone bad pretty quick. So what I do is I put the salad into my salad spinner, and because it has the basket still in there, it allows the water to drip off, and that's just one way to save money on my produce and other items at the store.